start off by saying L'chaim and wishing everyone, especially it's Azman Grama, it's exactly a week before Yud Shevat, that everyone should have tremendous Hatzlacha in doing the Rebbe's work and giving the Rebbe Nachas. L'chaim, L'chaim. It's a time now that every chassid, young and old, is focused on one thing. It's coming up in a week, Yud Shevat. Yud Shevat is the day that the Rebbe decided and accepted and consented and agreed that he's going to be our Rebbe, that he's going to spend his time working with us, each and every one of us, the chassidim of this generation, and leading us and guiding us and showing us how to do our shlichus, our main shlichus to bring Mashiach. And everyone is therefore focused now, what could we do more to prepare ourselves to be more ready for this day, for such a special day? So I'm going to share with you one story that I first heard when I was a young bacher learning over here in Los Angeles years ago. That sounds like a humorous story, but has a very big message to us. The Rebbe had one of his secretaries once was a chassid by the name of Rabbi Leib Rothstein, who was a chassid who sometimes liked to do things that seemed like antics. It seemed like doing amusing things for a special reason, which I'll share with you shortly. And this is one of the examples. When the Rebbe would do anything, one of the things that the Rebbe showed and taught was nothing at all is ever allowed to be wasted. In fact, when you write a letter to the Rebbe, this is what I was taught, this is what I do till today, that's what I'm sure you were taught. When you write a letter to the Rebbe, sometimes you write a letter and you don't fill up the whole page. So when that happens, then you tear off the bottom of the paper. You know why? Because if the Rebbe would get a letter and there was some blank space on it, then the Rebbe would tear off the bottom so that it shouldn't be wasted. So he'll use it for something else. There's no writing on it. No one wants to make the Rebbe have to do that, so you tear it off by yourself. The Rebbe showed in many different ways, not a second in time, not a thing, nothing at all could be wasted. And one of the examples where you saw this was when the Rebbe wrote. The Rebbe wrote with pencils, with lead pencils, and the pencil you have to keep on sharpening, and it gets smaller and smaller. And the Rebbe would write with the pencil. Some people, they write, it's already small, it's not so convenient, it's not so comfortable to use, and they throw it in the garbage. The Rebbe didn't do that. He wrote and wrote and wrote until it was so tiny that it was impossible to use anymore. So once the Rebbe had this secretary that I told you, Rabbi Leib Rothstein, and the Rebbe, he prepared for this in advance, the Rebbe asked him for a pencil. So he came in and he brought the Rebbe a tiny little pencil, like the pencils that the Rebbe used, a tiny little pencil. So the Rebbe said to him, a bissel größer, a little bit bigger. So he went out where he prepared in advance and he came in with a big pencil like this carrying over his shoulder. And he walked into the Rebbe's room and the Rebbe started laughing. Why did he do this? He's like clowning around in front of the Rebbe. He did this for a very important reason and many other things like this. He did this, and you could imagine that it's not comfortable to clown around in front of the Rebbe. In fact, I know from a number of Bachrim that they worked in the Lag Baimer parade, they were dressed up as clowns, that was their job. And some of them had a difficulty with it. You have to be a clown in front of the Rebbe. This is what the Rebbe wants you to do, but it's hard. Why was he playing these games seemingly? He was doing it because he felt his mission. He felt it very important that he wanted the Rebbe to smile. He wanted the Rebbe to laugh. He wanted to find any way, any means, any eitzah to make in a simple way that the Rebbe should have it easier on his heart. And this reflects the biggest goal, the biggest aim of every single chassid, that what we want more than anything else is we should make the Rebbe smile, make the Rebbe happy, give the Rebbe happiness, give the Rebbe joy in his heart. That's the purpose, that's our goal, that's what every chassid wants. This is our preparation for Yud Shevat. And sometimes a person can think, I'm a simple person. Sometimes you could think, I'm a boy in Cheder, Maybe you're not even bar mitzvah yet. What could I possibly do? The Rebbe is the leader of the whole world, of all the world. How could I do something? What difference is it going to make what I do? So there's 2 points. There's one thing, one of the points that the Rebbe speaks about in the Maimer Basi Lagani, the first Maimer that the Rebbe says, which defines, which explains to us what is our Aveda in this generation. And one of the ideas that's emphasized, that's underlined in that Maimer, is the Rebbe brings what Chazal say, every person has to say, Masai Yagiyu, Maisai, Lemaisai, Aveisai, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. That there's no person who could think, ich hab nicht bei them. I'm too small for this, I'm too simple, I'm too young, I'm too unimportant, and no such a thing. Every person is capable of achieving the greatest things. Every person is capable of reaching the highest levels. And that's in every area of Yiddishkeit, in every area of Shlichus, and in every type of Shlichus. This is what it says in the Maimer. And there's a story that illustrates this very much, and specifically in this area of being able to make the Rebbe smile, to give the Rebbe a nachas, to give the Rebbe the joy in his heart that that's what everyone wants. And the story is a story about a certain era, a certain time, when there was difficult things going on amongst Lubavitch Chassidim, and when there's problems going on amongst Chassidim, so that Chas v'Shalom causes that the Rebbe should have adbus nefesh. He has suffering, he has pain by it. The Rebbe is like a father. When a father sees that his children are having difficulties, he's pained by it. There was a time when the people who were close to the Rebbe they recognized that there's a period when the Rebbe is experiencing suffering from the suffering that's happening from difficult things that were going on with Chassidim. And those Chassidim who were aware of this were trying anything possible to try to alleviate this pain, to try to bring the Rebbe this joy and this nachas that's always the goal of a Chassid, right? They were looking, what could we possibly do? Could we get some donor to promise hundreds of millions of dollars and build another huge building and a huge mesa, something on a massive scale, on a global scale that could have an impact or have an effect on, so to speak, the Rebbe's mood. You understand? They were looking, what could we do? But nothing was working, nothing changed. And they saw that the Rebbe was like there's a word in Yiddish, ungezeigt. The Rebbe once said in a Sikha that if on a Rebbe you can never say really ungezeigt. That's no such a thing. But in an external way, in a visible way, it seemed like the Rebbe said in that Sikha, he was more intimate, he didn't see the happiness. Privately when he was in his room, and they were looking for something to do. And during that time, this is the story that happened. There was a child learning in Cheder. And this child wanted to give a gift to the Rebbe. What could he give? Can I give $1 million? Can I give build a building? But he wanted to give a gift to the Rebbe. So he wrote a letter to the Rebbe. And in his letter he wrote to the Rebbe, Rebbe, as a gift to you, I'm making a commitment. And he wrote the following commitment. And you know, one of the things that the Rebbe spoke about over the years, from the very first years of the Rebbe's Messias until the very latest years, different times the Rebbe spoke about saying brachas, about having kavanah when you say brachas, about having focus and attention when you say brachas in the morning. That seems like a simple thing. And so this boy wrote a letter to the Rebbe. And he wrote to the Rebbe that my gift to the Rebbe is I'm making a commitment that I'm going to change my conduct, my practice of when I say brachas. That until now my practice was that I would say brachas on the way to school. Maybe he walked to school, maybe he had a 5-minute walk. It's not so hard to memorize brachas by that. And he said brachas on the way. And this way he could save time. He said, my gift to the Rebbe is that I'm going to wake up 5 minutes earlier every morning, and I'm going to say brachas with a Cheder before I leave to school. So obviously I'm going to be saying brachas better in a more proper way. So this is a child, he's not even bar mitzvah yet. He's a boy in Cheder. What's he giving? What's this gift already? It's a few minutes of his time. What could be so important about this? When the Rebbe got this letter, the Rebbe, the maskiras of the Rebbe, the secretaries of the Rebbe said the Rebbe was very emotional. And they said that after the Rebbe got this letter, so they saw, now the Rebbe wasn't anymore. They saw that the Rebbe in a revealed way that he was in a, so to speak, in a good mood, in a better mood. They saw that this made the Rebbe happy. And the Rebbe wrote a letter to this boy who sent this gift to the Rebbe. He wrote amazing words. He wrote like this. He wrote, the words in Hebrew are, Hachisani kemayim karim nefesh hayif. Which means, he wrote, Hachisani, you gave me new life. Du hast mir Mechaya given. Kemayim karim al nefesh hayif, like someone who gives cold water on someone who's tired. If you imagine you're just finished playing a hard game in the hot sun and you're tired and sweaty, and you get a cold drink of water, it's like it gives you a new life. So the Rebbe wrote, you with your gift of giving an extra 5 minutes to say brachas properly, this accomplished more than anything than all that big people were trying to give. So this goal that a chassid has, to be able to bring joy to the Rebbe, to bring a smile to the Rebbe's face, this is something that anyone could do, that a child could do, that a boy in Cheder could do, and maybe even better than an adult, maybe even better than someone who is a great chassid. And this is the focus of everyone when it comes the days that are leading up to Yud Shevat. That in these days we have to each think and focus and contemplate in the things that are expected from us to do as chassidim. The Rebbe wants a chassid to think about these ideas of Masay Yagiyu, Maisay, Lemaisay, Aveisay, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, that every single chassid has to demand from himself all of the things that are demanded from chassidim. And a little extra step, a little extra time for davening, a little extra time for learning, a little extra focus in learning, a little extra effort in learning. These are things that even to us, they seem like something small, and it's something that in the Rebbe's eyes, it's massive. In the Rebbe's eyes, it can surpass, it could be greater than anything else, and this could be the thing from each person that brings that result that we want, that makes the Rebbe smile, that brings the Rebbe the happiness. The ultimate goal of Yud Shevat, the goal of the Rebbe's Messias is what? What's the purpose, what's the mission of the Rebbe's Messias? What's the main shlichus of the Rebbe's Messias? To bring Mashiach. To bring the Mashiach, to bring the Shechina down into the world, which is to bring Mashiach. And when we do our parts, every person has to think today in this last week before Yud Shevat, what is there in my life that I could do something that could be a little step, but this will bring about this result. This will make the Rebbe happy, and if the Rebbe is happy, that brings a greater strength and a greater chayas to the whole shlichus, to the whole mission of our generation. And this finalizes the mission of our generation to bring the Shekhinah into the world, to bring Mashiach. Have a lot of atzlacha, learn good, daven good, and bring the Rebbe now.